Hi, welcome to the latest video on the Rubbish FPL Play channel. It's been a while since I've done the video. It's been a few weeks, sort of lost a bit of motivation doing videos and FPL generally with how my season has been going, or the red arrows and just the rank generally. But I thought I'd do a season review, talk about how it went, if I was unlucky. And spoiler alert, I think based on projected points, I was unlucky, but we'll go into that. And we'll talk about that. Yeah, I thought I'd get a video out just before the World Cup starts in a few days' time. So anyway, I ended up at a rank of 2.6 million rank out of a 13.1 million teams. Obviously, there's not like 30 million unique individual teams which started from game week 1. Lots of people start a bit late. A lot of people just make teams just to try and get the highest score each game week and all that sort of stuff. I think there's probably, I read somewhere, or based on what I'll go into later on, there's probably 3.5 million active managers by the end of the season, and that's based on how many they've played 6 or more of the 8 available chips. So I think that's a decent way to work out if a team is active. Pretty much not someone who's forgot about their team or someone who's just playing it one game week. So looking at it that way, a 2.6 million rank out of maybe 3.5 million teams is not good. It's by far my worst rank. My worst rank before this was 1.5 million. That was in the 23-24 season, so not too long ago. And my best season was the season after that, the 24-25 season, where I ended up 68k. So following that pattern, hopefully maybe next season's going to be my best ever. I'll take anything in the, well, maybe I shouldn't say, but I'll take anything in the top 400-500k next season after this one. Looking at the actual game week ranks and how I got, I think I only got 2 game weeks which was actually in the top 1 million game week rank. Now obviously a 1 million game week rank is average. It's not something to shout about. But if you get 1 million game week rank within the top 1 million game week rank every single game week, you'll win the whole of FPL pretty easily. Looking at who won the FPL this season, and looking at his game week ranks, or their game week ranks, 17 game weeks were in the top 1 million, and the rest were out of that. He got some pretty poor, like 8 million ranks, I think. So, he only less than half were in the top 1 million. Obviously, he got some good ones in there. I think all the top 1 millions were mostly around the 200k sort of rank, and he got one in the top 10k rank. So, yeah. But even if you have a bad season, and I did not checked for a few game weeks now, but even people around my rank or worse rank, I had a quick check at some of them, and they've had 3-4 game weeks which were good, which worked out for them. Decisions just worked out, or they had some luck. But yeah, anyway, there's plenty to learn. Probably hopefully do better. But looking at how my season started, as usual, it started poorly. But like many teams do that, and then they recover because their team at the start, they picked the right players, didn't work out. But by game week 4, so a few games into that, I had time to change. I was still 8.2 million rank. Having a quick look at sort of the teams I had and the mistakes right at the start. I had no Haaland right at the start. I had no City right at the start. I had no Arsenal players right at the start. So that wasn't right? Yeah, so that they could learn from that. Obviously, next season, well, I went for Salah in game week 1 and captained him, and he did okay actually at the start, not crazy, but he did decent. Obviously, in the end, Salah overall didn't have the greatest season, certainly compared to his usual high standards. Next season, since it's not going to be a case of Haaland or Salah in your team with the budget. It's going to be, I think, so many people are going to have Haaland because they can afford him. Who else is going to be particularly expensive or a premium above 10 million? I think Bruno will be. And after that, I don't know. It's players like Palmer didn't have a great season. Saka didn't have as good season as he has in the past. Yeah, who else? Unless obviously teams could buy, someone buys an Mbappe or something like that. He'll be up above 10 million. But we'll see how it goes and whether it might be easier with the budget and all that. With there's not too many premium players, but it's still about picking up the right players. Obviously, this season there were some players who a lot of people got in who weren't that expensive. A lot like Anderson, I didn't have enough in my during the season, apart from I think maybe just really near the end. So that's part of the reason maybe I didn't do well. My most selected players, a bit of a season recap, which this graphic was provided by FPL. They've been doing a bit of these graphics, sort of a summary of each game week towards the end and season 1 and their sort of partnership with Adobe and all that. I'm a bit surprised Van de Ven was in there. He got me 28 points. He scored 116 the whole of the season. So that says something, having him at the wrong parts of the season, or maybe not enough. Rodgers in there, who trolled a lot of managers and having him in. He never seemed to return, and then when you didn't have him, he did return. For me, well, he's down as one of my most selected, but he only got me 54 points and he scored 169 for the whole season. Another one, Dubravka, I think I probably played him too much. He scored 40 points. He scored, for me, 96 points the whole season. I think probably I could have done better with a better keeper. I usually do go for the lower price sort of keepers. It all goes back from when I played at FPL and fantasy football, way back, having a keeper that is not one of those top keepers for a top team, but makes lots of saves, get the odd clean sheet. But probably Dubravka, probably someone better than Dubravka could have been on our team. Had Wilson, he got me 63 points, 168 for the whole of the season. And Munoz, I didn't think I had him in my team that much. He only got 32 points from me, 136 for the whole season. So looking at that with the most selected players in my team, maybe I had the wrong players and maybe had the right players at the wrong time. Yeah. Going on to how I talked about, was I maybe just unlucky or just not very good at FPL? Obviously, FPL, it's a mixture of luck and skill. Everyone debates, it's 50-50. Is it more skill, more luck? But I think I think it's a mixture of both. But obviously, it's not all luck in that. If you look at certain players, certain FPL managers who always have a good season, or vast majority of them, for every season, they always do well. So, it's not all just luck. Looking at the Solio site, they've got this sort of expected versus reality sort of section, which is basically having a look at the projected points versus the points you actually got. And you can compare it to all managers, so all 13, or all teams, all managers, all the 13.1 million teams, all those active managers. As I mentioned, they've used it. So an active manager has played 6 or more of the 8 chips. Those chips, the free hit, the bench boost, and so on. So it's not 100%, 100%, 3.5 million or 100% are active, but it is a good guide. So based on that, I think my projected rank. So assuming that the players scored the points they were projected to have got, I would have ended up a rank of 337k, which is 1.7 million a higher rank than I actually got. That's based on the 2.1 million rank is based on active managers, and that works out at 0.88% by luck. So I think, although there's a matter of skill and me making my own up to my own decisions and so on, I think I've been unlucky. 0.088 by luck. 152 points. The projected points would have been 152 points more than I actually got. So even if it was half of that, so 70, 80 sort of more points, that would have been a significantly better round. That would have been in the top 1 million, I'm pretty sure. Looking at the stats and all that, if it was taken into account all managers, my projected rank would have been very similar, 440k. But obviously the difference between my actual rank is bigger, so it's 2.2 million higher rank than what I actually got. So that's the 0.63 by luck. Not good. That'll be my last video probably until maybe, or certainly wait until the game actually launches. We'll talk about the game launching already, but it'll be here before you know it. The season's actually, it starts itself in like 2 months, 2 weeks ish, something like that. And the game will start a few weeks before that. But before that, the World Cup, and then the game will launch, and then the week that it all kicks off and starts, there'll be the Fantasy Football Fest, which I'll be going. I've been to a few. I think about 4 of them in the past. But it's a good sort of gathering of lots of FPL players. You get to meet some of the managers who you may have seen. You may watch their YouTube videos, or you may listen to their podcasts. So a lot of them turn up. So anyway, well, I was going to say green arrows, but anyway, have a good summer. Enjoy the World Cup, and thanks for watching. If you could like, comment, subscribe, that'd be excellent. Thanks, bye.